Well, as we know, cell phones are an everyday part of our lives, but are they as safe as we think they are? A man in Texas claims his cell phone actually exploded, sending him to the hospital for stitches. Aaron Embry was talking on his new Motorola Droid phone when he says he heard a pop. Seconds later, he was bleeding from his ear, and the screen of his Droid appeared to have burst open. Now, Motorola is investigating. Folks, it is rare, but cell phones can explode. CNET technology contributor Katie Linendahl is here to explain why it happens and how we can prevent it. Now, Katie, while this isn't something that we see happening every day, there have been instances in the past of this happening. First of all, what would cause a cell phone to explode? Right.
Well, a lot of people don't understand that lithium ion are the most popular types of battery. And while they hold 6 times more of the charge and they're lightweight and they're great for portable devices, from MP3 players to laptops to cell phones, they are volatile. So while this is an isolated example, it is not the first time we've heard of an iPod Nano, for example, or a laptop battery exploding.
Wow. Now, I think it's important to state here that Motorola did issue a statement saying, and they are the maker of the Droid, they released a statement saying in part, quote, "We have no reason to believe the phone exploded as it is still operational and intact. We have contacted the consumer and will investigate this thoroughly," end quote. Now, while they continue to investigate this particular incident, it's not unheard of, but how big of a problem is it really?
Yeah, we're just seeing one example, but again, we've seen in the past huge examples, and big box retailers have this problem. Dell, Lenovo, Sony. In the past, in the biggest of examples, tens and millions of recalls on batteries. So this has been a problem in the past and a blemish to big box retailers.
So safety, obviously the operative word here.
Right.
Give us some tips that consumers can keep in mind with respect to safety.
First things first, and we don't know if this was a counterfeit device, but I can't tell you it is a $100 billion global problem when we're talking about counterfeit devices in the electronics world.
$100 billion?
$100 billion. And people don't understand that electronics, you know, it's great to go out to eBay or to Craigslist and pick up this device that's half the price. Counterfeit devices equals poorly made units. They're made cheaply because they're inexpensive and on the marketplace. Make sure when you're picking up a device like an electronic that you're using every day. Our cell phone is our most popular device now. You're getting it from an authorized dealer. And if you don't know anything about technology, I say treat it like a handbag. If you go out on the streets of Manhattan, you know that the logo's a little off, or you know that it's Louis Vuitton, but it's an LW. Hey, we know that's not right. Look for things you would look for in another product when making that purchase on a cell phone.
You say to be careful of exposing it to heat and water. Why?
Heat and water, not too hot and not too cold. When we're mixing elements with something like a lithium-ion battery, those elements just don't mix. And it's so funny, I can't tell you how many of my friends, cars, for example, you leave your phone on one grocery trip, it is a hot box. That can cause a battery to explode. And in the same instance, not too cold and avoid water. Sometimes even if you get that battery just a little bit wet, you might say, oh, it's dry right now. It can actually cause that battery to corrode, and then down the road, it could cause a short. So make sure you're keeping it away from the elements.
We've got about 40 seconds remaining here. You say heed the signs of a defective.
Yes.
What are they?
Okay, if that phone is getting too hot to a point where it becomes uncomfortable, that is an absolute red flag. Something's off. It's probably a battery problem. Could be a short.
Wow. But now, don't most cell phones get warm?
Yes, if you're using it for an extended period of time, that's pretty normal. But also, I want to make sure, too, when you're charging a battery, make sure that that charger is compatible. And don't just swap in and out another battery. I see this all the time. Just because a charger fits doesn't mean that that currency and that voltage is made for your phone.
Wow, Katie, you're all over top of this. And thank you so much for the safety tips.
It was hard for me to contain myself. I just wanted to talk fantasy football with you.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can be helpful to you then. We'll talk about that during the commercial break for sure. All right, now.